This week on Stay Out of My Fridge.
Like, I was running and I got stuck. I was like, skirt! This sucks.
I don't know. I can tell you right now, I'm not going to do a blue chew and get on the old treadmill.
I smoked so much food yesterday.
I don't know if I'm not very flexible, so that's why the whole yoga thing, I just know that I'll end up myself if I try to stretch too far. And then running, I would rather honestly drink bleach than have to run.
And I was like, all right, we're going to run. Got dressed, got my gym shorts, got my cutoff shirt kind of like this, went outside, and I used to rip my sleeves off and I'd put them around my head because they're nice, the armbands are nice.
It's a pretty badass move.
And went running, and I made it half a block, and I was like, turned around and walked home.
Why is it always about the areolas when we start the show and food? That's a good pairing, I guess. Today we went cheese. Happy belated Labor Day, everybody. The voice you're hearing is me, it's Matt, it's Beard Laws. Joining me as always, wearing that red proudly, is Brandon, J McDermott, and Yuban Whakinov. What's up, fellas?
Man, it's a good day.
The time of the recording, you're seeing an extra big smile because Brandon J's college football team that we have talked about on the show is 1-0 after a very impressive Week 1 victory. I was checking the scores. I might even put a little sprinkle on the old spread, and they covered, so I have a little extra smile as well.
Yeah, it was UTEP.
Yep.
But
hey,
true freshman quarterback, 19 years old, starting only the second true freshman quarterback to start the opening game for Nebraska in history. Threw for 2 and some change, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, was like 70% completion. So
hey,
UTEP or not, we're excited.
Just like a sore pecker, you can't beat it. And it was kind of cool to see the Manning kid got in and got to sling the ball for a little bit because Texas was destroying whoever they were playing. But yeah, and Yuban, being a potential Missouri fan, or at least close, they got a dub, big dub. Maybe he likes Kansas. Don't think so. They also got a dub in Syracuse. They debuted their new look stadium that can hold 48,000 people, and they got a dub with they got the Ohio State transfer in this year. So happy college football fans all over. North Carolina fan.
They got from Arizona going crazy for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns too. That was insane.
That'd be a good fantasy day. That'd be a good one. They do the college. I tried to get into it. I think Brandon jumped in one time, maybe even you've been as well, and I just couldn't get into fantasy with the college whatever because nobody else wants to do it. So it is.
It's a lot tougher, and there's a lot more disparity. It's not as easy to just jump in and be 1 of 12 or 1 of 14 and I don't know what I'm doing and be in 3rd or 4th place,
Mm-hmm. Which, everybody wants a medal, and hopefully everybody wants a Brio. You guys should head over to Brio for Life. Use promo code BEARDLAW. Save yourself some money. Be an extra special after Labor Day sale. Does that work? But what's really cool with Brio is a lot of the stuff that they charge comes with USB, and they actually include the brick. So if you get the head shaver, if you get anything like that, you can actually use it. Turns out a lot of things these days, and we were off on a little mini tangent before I pressed record, all the stuff you can buy, they're all USB. How handy. Until they don't come with a brick. So no wonder why you pay $38 and it could be $100 because then you got to turn around and buy all those goddamn bricks. And in my world, most of the stuff that we have is USB-C. So the straight USB isn't going to go into that as well. You got to buy the specific ones. You sons of bitches. Include the brick like Brio.
And if you go to buy a brick anymore, it seems like they're damn near $15 for just the brick itself, and it's are you kidding me? What happened to the good old days of just having no brick? I as a fan of being bricked up,
there it
is. I support bricks being in the boxes. Okay, I don't even have the brick. Have the cord just be a standard fucking AC at this point, whatever the fuck it is. Plug it into the wall.
AC/DC, baby. Yeah, it's pretty annoying. And it all started because we were trying to improve studio lighting. So our dude Burley, he recommended some lights. And I'm like, this is a fantastic deal. I don't need more lighting, but I'm going to buy them because it's a good deal anyways. Yuban buys them. I gave him the bad news because mine came first somehow, which is weird. But apparently his did get lost in Colorado, speaking of high. And they didn't come with any of them. So thankfully I had a USB hub, plugged them in. But goddamn, I did steal one of the bricks from the kids. I'm waiting to see how long before they start yelling at each other that who stole my brick? Because that is a constant fight. I mean, we as kids we fought over a lot of stuff and some toys. Never bricks to charge technology, and that is a big one in this house. I have to imagine Yuban as well. Brandon, this is the future for you. You probably don't have that fight yet, but it's coming, bud.
Not yet.
It is. It's an odd battle too because you don't see it coming, and then you're just like you think everything's fine. You're getting ready to go on a road trip, and everyone's like, "I need to charge this. I need to charge this. Who stole my brick? Who stole my this for the car?" And I'm like, "Oh my god!" It's always all these devices, and since everybody in the family uses Apple, I'm the only one that uses Android, so they constantly steal their cables, and even my wife's just like, Where's my phone charger? Oh, sorry, Mom. I used it. It's downstairs. Oh, I can't find it now, Mom. I'm sorry. And she's looking at me like, and I was like, you know what's awesome? A Type-C cable that nobody steals. Like, I thoroughly enjoy it. I've had the same one for 6 years.
So in this house, they started writing names on them and tagging the cables, so it's pretty clear whose is whose. And the kids, I think actually the kids have Apple, so it's a little bit of a different game, and iPads, and it's a constant battle, man. It's disgusting. But yeah, they write their names on it with some permanent marker, but then some of them have gotten smart enough and they know that they can take the what's that one chemical that takes the Sharpie marker right out, begins with an A.
Is it like the nail polish remover type of stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they just, they're like, I'm like, you sons of bitches, you're too smart for your own good. But it's a weird battle. What was some stuff that you guys fought over with a other person in the house before a road trip or a toy in the house? Was there anything?
When we were kids?
Yeah. Or now as adults. I don't care. Whatever.
Well, my kids argue over the fucking tablet.
Oh, yeah.
Or my Echo in here.
It's only just begun.
I've got an Echo in here, and they call it the little TV, and they want to sit next to me. Well, the problem is only one of them can touch the screen because the other one's going to get pushed off the fucking chair. They're two little toddlers. And so we have a family room where we have the big TV, and I usually keep one in there and one in here, and then they'll trade off. We'll go back and forth.
Yeah.
But that's a big fight.
Mm-hmm. No toys, though, right? Not a lot of toy fights anymore?
I don't. We probably went overboard on our first with toys. We have probably about 60 to 70% of the toys we bought her upstairs in the second level of our house in storage. Just because it just makes a mess and she can't keep up with it all.
And they don't want to play with them. I mean, we just had a garage sale recently, and all of ours are 8 and up now. So, I mean, the sitting around playing with toys is just about over. So, from the Barbie doll houses to the Peppa Pig house to whatever the hell the other house, and I'm like, I'm getting rid of them. And they're like, well, I love it. You haven't touched the goddamn thing in 3 to 5 years. We're going to let some other kid enjoy this for like $5. It had to be more than that. I'm like, I don't know. Ask goddamn Santa.
Yeah.
It's still real, damn it.
Right. It's real to me. I'm not looking forward to the next few years as they grow out of toddlers, and my third is born. Did I tell you that, guys, that I showed up publicly with you guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
We potentially knew before, video was leaked. That's exciting.
That's not all that was leaking.
Hey. Yeah, man. Labor Day, obviously weekend. It's not all the way over, but I'm just curious. You guys have any parties that had some good food, some drinks, any plans? Is like Labor Day festivities decent around where you guys are? Or?
I smoked so much food yesterday. I know you thought I was going to say something else. I smoked oxtails.
Ooh, I saw that you did a post on the old socials and something about like food prices or argue about a price, and somebody was like, yeah, oxtails ridiculous. And I saw a little conversation you and somebody were having about oxtails and the prices, and I can't buy them around here.
Yeah, it was like for one set of oxtails, it's like $8 a pound now.
Is that what they come in sets? Like, is it one? And I'm asking, I truly don't know.
They do, and so usually right now it's around $20 for one single oxtail.
Wow.
And the only thing I can compare it to is it's the tail, and so there's a part of it that's bigger, and then the tail gets smaller, and so the cuts get smaller. It's like
do it again.
Stacked to it.
And, what is it compared to for taste? Obviously, it's smoked, so you have a little bit of the whatever. But like meat wise, I know you're a big fan. This isn't the first time you've smoked some oxtail.
You ever had
curious.
You ever had braised beef?
Yeah.
It's like braised beef. So it's
Okay.
it's got that it's very fatty,
Mm-hmm.
but the fat is completely rendered down because you braised it for 3 hours. You've soaked it in its own fat and juices, and beef broth is what I put it in. It's the beefiest flavor of meat you'll ever have. Like it's
Interesting.
and it's considered a superfood because of the collagen in it that is good for you too. Now it's really super fatty, so you know you're trading some of it off, but it's good for you.
I recently brought the wife. There's a place around here, Lobster House. Obviously, it's probably similar to maybe like a Red Lobster. I've never been to one, but your typical seafood. You know, actually lobster, crab tails, all that stuff that I don't eat. But it's like the only place around that actually has decent to good seafood. Also, good steak. They had a special going. I don't know if it was a special or a menu item, but for $24.99, you got a pound of like beef braised beef. Oh, this is gonna be hard. Braised beef brisket. Can't say that once, let alone 10 times. That they actually marinate or however they cook it in Sam Adams for X amount of time, and then it also comes with a side, a salad, but with it, it also comes with red potatoes and gravy. So I mean, for $24.99, you're getting all that food, and it was amazing. Like pull apart, but it still had a little bit of the fat end on there too. I like eating some of the fat mixed with that like pull apart beef. Oh god damn, was it good!
So I got something for you boys, but I want to go somewhere else before we do that.
All right.
So we talked yesterday. I was going to make some jalapeno poppers, but instead of making them bacon wrapped, I put bacon in the cream cheese with barbecue sauce.
Oh, like chopped up bacon.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it was really good. Made Mexican corn dip, which was really just a bunch of frozen corn, some Gouda, some cream cheese, and some mayo with a Rotel and whatever seasonings you want.
Know what you should do? You should go to Taco Bell, get a bunch of items, put them in a blender, and put it in dip form, and call it a Taco Bell dip instead of a Mexican dip.
Nice.
I got you.
Also made what else did we make? Made a bunch of veggies and other stuff too, but those were the ones. Oh, I made pineapple meatballs.
What?
So frozen meatballs. It's cheaper to do that way. You can make your own meatballs if you want to.
Did you go with the Italian style frozen meatballs, or which ones?
I just went a regular, I think.
Okay.
But then I bought a can of chunked pineapple, and then a bunch of like Asian barbecue sauce. So it was like a teriyaki kind of beat feel to it with a little sweetness. It was good. So made that. But buddy of mine went to the Husker game. God, this is heavy. Okay, now I'm going to tell you something, boys. Get prepared. In fact, Matt, I'm going to have you pull up this website.
Yep.
While we're doing this,
I got you.
And I'm going to copy it into the chat here. But he goes to the Nebraska game, and at the Nebraska game, he has this thing that he does always, which is he stops before for a meal before the game, because you want to get there early enough to get parking, get to the seat, and all that stuff. He gets a meal, usually a Runza. We've talked about Runza before. And then after the game, he goes to a place called Muchachos in Lincoln. Now, Muchachos it started as a taco truck, but they've partnered with the Nebraska football team. Like sales from their burritos go directly to the NIL for the offensive line. So he bought me a burrito, and I don't know, I've never been there, so I haven't even eaten it yet. But if you click on the menu itself, up top, right there, yep, there's a burrito in there that is like their biggest one. And I'm sorry this isn't the easiest for you, Matt, but
it's okay. We got this. I'm going to swap
$20
over here. I downloaded the menu. It doesn't have any pictures, but they...
That's okay. It's a $20 menu because I've got a picture for you right here.
All right.
Or it's a $20 burrito. So you're thinking to yourself, holy shit, it's a lot of burrito. Now, I can't remember what's in this fucking thing, but it is... Oh, it's called the Pipeline, the one at the bottom. So Nebraska's offensive line used to be called the Pipeline back when it was good. So it's got rice, beans, queso, crushed chips, smoked meat. All three meats, which includes brisket, I believe, brisket, pulled pork, and then I believe like chicken.
Oh, shit.
That's
20-pound burrito. A buddy of mine brought it, and I haven't eaten it yet. I had to save it for you guys.
Holy
That
shit.
is the fucking burrito. And that is my hand next to it. Like, it is...
Oh.
This is It takes up the whole thing, you guys.
That is
like I could take this out of here. That's the burrito, bro. Like
the bottom of it is so beautiful.
This is my head next to it.
Like Yuban just said, that bottom, whatever, toast or char, whatever you might say.
Yeah.
I'm throwing that bad boy in the air fryer later. We're going to go to town.
Oh my god!
Might have to do that for the fantasy football draft we have.
Speaking of bricks, bricked up.
So I had that. I know I didn't go to a thrift store to get anything, but I figured I'd show you guys that because I told my wife and kids to stay out of the fridge. See what I did there? Don't mess with my food.
Well played. Your kids couldn't lift that, I feel.
You ever give your kids something to hold and it's like heavy for them and they're like, that's what it would be like.
Gallon of milk.
It's called groceries. Yeah, I was gonna say it's groceries. Yeah, you're unloading the car.
You want me to help carry these in? Yeah, you're gonna help eat them. You help carry them in. It's heavy. Take more trips. Well, that doesn't want to. Trust me. I know that's dad logic. If I can do it all in one trip and potentially throw my back out, I'm doing it one trip. But figure it out, kid.
And if I had to guess, I would say that's between 3 and 5 pounds. By the way.
Oh my god, that's beautiful. That's and the irritating point to Matt unloading the car. You know, you have bags all the way up to your arms, and you're holding everything that you can, and then they're looking at you and they go, "Hey, I got the cereal. I'm just, it's heavy." And I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I'm like, "Grab like the toilet paper then too. It's too big to carry." I'm like, "Get the fuck, poke a hole in one of them and pinch one of the rolls." I'm like, "You got it in the corner, preferably. You got this." Well, I can't poke the plastic. I'm like, I've raised such pussies.
There goes your charging cable. It must be nice to live in a state where you can still get bags. For us, bring your own bags, or you can purchase those reusable bags, which I have a closet full of bags that we've purchased, and every time we go to the goddamn store, do you think I remember to bring them? Nope. But then you can get paper bags for 5 cents a piece. Try carrying groceries in them goddamn paper bags, especially when there's snow, when there's wet, or there's frozen products in there, and they just rip. And then you're even more pissed, and you don't really want to kick the groceries because you just paid for them. You're not going to be able to eat them, but son of a bitch. And we've been on a health kick. Trying to buy healthy food is bullshit. It sucks. It's so goddamn expensive, except for the knockoff Cheerios, which are like $2.98, and they are some of the worst tasting healthy cereals ever. Goddamn. Being healthy sucks. Don't highly recommend it. And it's all Yuban's fault for him getting super sick. And then I was like, I got to take care of myself. I'm almost 40, you son of a bitch, Yuban.
But you've been doing really well. Like, you're running and everything. Like, you're,
yeah.
You think, like myself being the one that was actually in the hospital, be like, this is the time. This is the time. All that weight that I lost, I'm pretty sure is back plus like 3 or 4 pounds. I'm like, this fucking sucks. I contribute it 100% to the marijuana. As soon as I started smoking that shit again, my appetite increased, obviously. And it's always at night. You're not supposed to eat at night. But there I am, just like a fucking raccoon, just raiding the snack cabinet, eating fucking everything. I'm like, what sounds good right now? Leftover bacon, this honey bun. What? We have cheese? Well, let's grab a couple of Doritos and dip it in this little queso. I am a fucking fat fuck.
Dude, the key is just, if you don't have anything good, I found when I'm hungry at night and I look up and it's just rice cakes and knockoff Cheerios and stuff, I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to go to bed.
Chug some water and go to bed.
Yep, and then because I'm almost 40, it's like, all right, see you at 2 a.m., see you at 4:30 a.m. to have to take a piss.
So last week, you bring all that up. It's great because I was trying to like watch my portion control, which of course showing you that burrito doesn't.
I mean, you could watch it. I mean, I'm watching it too.
It's like a fucking week's meal right there.
That's meal prep.
I started doing yoga too, like the DDP yoga. If you heard of the DDP yoga, Diamond Dallas Page, WDB.
You down with DDP? Yeah, you know me.
Well, I didn't. Yes. I didn't buy or subscribe to his whatever because I'm not going to pay money to fucking. So I just went to YouTube and found yoga for obese people. So basically, DDP yoga knockoff. But
did you really type that in?
Yoga for obese people.
Because I want to do that.
And 2 days into it, and I'm like, man, this is good. I feel good afterwards. I'm all stretched, and then my fucking ankle starts getting like this, and I'm like, what the fuck? Well, I must have stretched something too much or something, because my like inside of my right ankle is just, oh, it hurts. It's putting you
That's
on.
the worst. Yeah, I just
Getting
I
old
know.
ain't easy.
It's not.
You
I've
ain't
been.
lying.
I could never get into yoga. I'm not very flexible. But for me, I've been doing. Obviously, we got a treadmill. The wife wanted one for her birthday, and we found a pretty good one. I did way too much research on treadmills. We don't have a lot of space in our house, so I wanted one that could break down and then slide under the bed. And we found one that goes up to like, I want to say like 8 miles an hour, has the handles, because it's not because if you've seen the walking pads, I'm like, there's no goddamn way I'm just going to walk on that. And it's a Bluetooth connection that you can download an app, and you can do races against people, or you can just, it has it all timed and all that stuff. And it was right around $200. Like, it was very affordable. Right through
What?
Amazon, delivered there, 100% installed. You didn't have to do a goddamn thing. Just showed up, plug it in, turn it on, and go. And I'm telling you right now, it's good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a huge fan of it. But what I've been trying to do, because of course the cool things and all the studies and stuff when you start doing the healthy thing, is the ice baths. And I'm like, oh shit. Well, I can't afford one of those. So I mean, you can buy the ice bath. It's like $99, but then you got to make ice and do all that. And my fridge is so goddamn old that it doesn't even have the water or an ice maker. So I have a countertop thing, and it ain't gonna keep up. So I started doing it. I've been doing ice showers. So I've been taking a chunk of ice, putting it in like a strainer, jumping in. My water right now hits about 62, 63. And then with the ice, it gets down to about 50. So I just sit there, freeze my ass off so I can barely breathe, just covered in it. And I'm like, this is stupid. But I'm telling you right now, not only does it wake you up, it puts me in a friggin' much better mood, and it takes the soreness out of like the workout. And I'm like, all right, Joe Rogan, I'm listening. I'm onto something. And to be honest, if I had an extra $1,000, I probably would have bought one of those ice baths with the automatic chillers.
Dude,
It's something. I'm telling you.
I I don't know if I'm not very flexible, so that's why the whole yoga thing. I just know that I'll end up shitting myself if I try to like stretch too far. And then running, I would rather honestly drink bleach than have to run. I don't know what it is. I hate running. I have a deviated septum, so I can only breathe out of one side of my nostril, and it
Mm.
is ever since I was a kid. So I have to chew gum because I'm a mouth breather, and I get cotton mouth within like the first 100 feet. So I'm like, already I'm like, I need something to drink. This sucks. And then by the time like if I get like a half a mile with just like constantly just some sort of a pace better than a walk, I just want to be just lay down and die. I hate it. It's the worst.
What
And
about
then
walking? Do you like walking? You could do a pretty brisk walk, and it's still super healthy.
honestly, just not a fan. Just why walk when you can drive? No, it's just this stupid bum ass ankle. That's what I was feeling for you, Brandon. Whenever you were talking about it, was swelling. The one that I hurt falling out of the golf cart still hurts. It sucks. If I go up the stairs at a really brisk pace, uh, it still hurts like a son of a bitch. It is not fun. You were talking about the inside of your right ankle, and that's why I was like, I could really empathize with you because that's exactly where mine hurts. It feels like something is like a bungee cord is pulling, like it just hasn't healed, and I fear that it's something more serious than just a sprain. And I'm like, cool,
Damn.
more money down the fucking toilet. I love it. Great times.
See that the right foot is well for me is not the ankle, but that's the one that I broke in a car accident as a kid. And they didn't do surgery because they're like, you're young enough, it's fine. So they put it in a cast and all this stuff. So it still kind of has this bump. And every once in a while, you remember like older people being like, I can tell it's going to rain by my bones or whatever. I tell you what, when there's certain weathers, my foot friggin' aches. Maybe it's a coincidence, or maybe I have the Farmer's Almanac key in my foot, but it sucks. Man.
It's that's like I try to play with the kids, and I was like trying to like pivot real quick and like juke them and stuff, and I was like, oh, like that hurt more than just the ankle. I'm like, that was the back a little bit, the hips, the legs. No,
Mm-hmm.
whenever you're running, like, so my wife, she loves to run, and she's like, there's this certain high that you get. She's like, you get to this certain point, and she's like, it feels amazing. And I'm like, is that the point where you're getting ready to die? I was like, because that's what I feel. I'm like, I never get this euphoric, like, this is amazing. I've never in my life enjoyed a run, like, ever. I don't know.
Yeah, so I had buddies that they ran track. They've made a life running, doing triathlon, and they kept going, dude, that runner's high. I'm telling you, I've never done drugs or drank, but I'm telling you, I'm like, huh? So I mean, played sports, ran a lot with soccer, never felt it. Went through a phase of my life where I was running, never felt it. To this point, almost 40, never felt. I think that that's just some bullshit for them to like try to just maybe like it's a runner's thing where they're just like, I'm gonna say this so people that I know potentially like to get high will try running and be a little healthier. I have to imagine your wife is like, you could get high running, and that's her
That,
way to be like, maybe you'll run.
I
I
think
don't buy
it's
it.
like it's a double thing. She's like, hey, maybe I can get him to quit smoking weed and lose the tits. And it's like, nah, you got the. I'm committed to both, baby. You ain't getting rid of these.
I'm
No,
committed to both.
Brandon, have you ever
Um,
like have you ever experienced a runner's high or anything like that? Like it's
Running while high? I mean, was it like Walmart at 2:30 in the morning and I really wanted those Swiss rolls? Because maybe,
ooh,
but no. I do remember this, though. It was like 2006. This was the last time I actually was like, I'm going to work out. This is going to do this. This is going to do. I was 20 years old, 20.
seems like a good
And
time.
I had been 2 years since because it's been 20 years for me since I've actually like worked out, like lifted weights and stuff. I'm gonna go run, and yeah, I was getting goofed at the time, which is what I call getting high, and I was ripped, and I was like, all right, we're gonna run. Got dressed, got my gym shorts, got my cut off shirt, kind of like this. Went outside, and I used to rip my sleeves off, and I'd put them around my head because they're nice, like the armbands are nice,
It's a
like
pretty badass
sweatbands.
move.
And went running, and I made it half a block, and I was like, "Fuck this!" Turned around and walked home. Somebody saw me like it was like fucking the start of dun 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 dun. Dun. Like I was running, and I got stopped. I was like, "Skirt! This sucks. Fuck this." Walked back. Basically, what it was, and I've never looked back.
That'd be a fun mashup. Dun, 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 dun. And then I was gonna go for a run, but then I got high.
Yeah.
Mm.
Speaking of mashups, you know what I had stuck in my fucking head last night? Woke up from a night. I got to share this with you because my wife's like, "You're not special, Brandon," because that's what she always says.
You're
But
special.
but
we think you are.
I felt like this was like nobody in the world has ever had this happen to them. Okay, so there I am, and you guys have heard this song by Metallica. You know, I don't know what it's called. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Right? You've heard that.
Yeah.
To the tune of "Seasons in the Sun." Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Oh,
What the fuck? I'm waking up at 3 a.m. singing this fucking song in my head.
wow.
How do these two mash up? I don't like Metallica, and I don't like songs about bad things happening to us. And
Yeah,
so,
fuck Metallica first off, and ruining Napster and all of that good stuff.
Preach.
Yeah. So there, I'm not saying that that this wasn't a thing, but there's a ton of people that do those mix-ups, and this is a little bit different. But have you ever seen the one that says "There, I ruined it"?
yes, it's so
That
great.
is one of my favorite accounts because they're able to, like you said, they take it, change some lyrics, still have the song, but just and they do funny mashups. But I've always thought it would. I always thought it would be cool to do kind of like that. You said take songs, kind of mix them like you would did, but it's like that's got to be a hard one to be as a content creator because of the rights. You know what I mean? Like we the other day on Triple T, we played 7 seconds of a song, and we got flagged. It was
Really?
7 seconds of a song that came out in 1958 that I'm pretty
Wow.
sure, and it was from an account that didn't have, damn right that they didn't have the original rights to the song. It was some random account that played this song because Burley went on a rant about crooners, how much he hates crooners, and I'm like, and you guys, if you know Burley, you might be like, crooners. Well, what the heck's a crooner? Because it's Burley, but it's like a style where I think that like they draw it out, like you know what I mean.
I can't stand Michael Bublé or Harry Connick Jr. And those are
Like
about the closest
Bing
to cool.
Crosby, Frank Sinatra were the famous kind of crooners.
Give me Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra and all those guys 100 times over.
Mm-hmm.
You put on Michael Bublé and I'll throw my fucking head through a wall. Like it's awful.
I never heard of Michael Bublé at all until Chad Ochocinco went on all the social medias on how he was the biggest fan. He would listen to him. He'd get pumped up to him. And I'm like, there's not a single song that the old Boobs, is that his nickname? Bloobs, that I think could really get you pumped up. But then he also admitted how he would take a half of Viagra before games to get the blood flowing. So I'm like, he's got Michael Bublé playing a half of Viagra in there. That's a different kind of vibe, I would imagine, in a locker room. But hey,
That's a different
never
type
got
of
a
oxtail.
he could ball out.
Sometimes they were.
But it was Rogan. Rogan was talking to somebody recently about the effects of the Viagras, the Blue Chews, or whatever that I guess like MMA fighters and stuff like that are doing the same thing. They're taking a smaller dosage, not to the point where you get the erection, but it is able to get the blood flowing and stuff like that. And I don't know. I can tell you right now, I'm not going to do a Blue Chew and get on the old treadmill.
Well, I mean, and if I have, like, I probably get 3 boners just during this show. So if I have just half of a Blue Chew, that's a dangerous combo. Like, I'm not going to go out in public. Be pitching tents all day.
Ooh, that's your nickname, right? We'll put that on a t-shirt. But it's funny, I ran when I was Googling crooners, which that sounds pretty bad. It says the Canadian crooner. Get the lowdown on Michael Bublé. Could you imagine being called the Canadian crooner?
And
there's also a place. It does sound awful. There's also a place called the Crooners Supper Club. But when you read it real quick, for some reason, I feel like your brain puts Crooner Stripper Club. Because I'm not associating crooners with anything that. But the definition of the crooner, and this is an Urban Dictionary, which I'm going to look up that next, but it's a singer who performs with a smooth, intimate style that originated in the 20s. So obviously the Franks and stuff. It wasn't the drawn-out things. Like I wanted to make sure we corrected before Yuban erected himself.
Well, and I've seen, I'm not a Bublé fan or whatever by any means, but I've seen him do interviews and do other things outside of music, and he actually seems like a really chill dude, so I can't hate on him. So as much as I don't like his music, but him as a person seems funny and decent. I don't know. I haven't seen anything bad about the guy.
Yeah. I mean, he's Canadian. It's hard to, most Canadians are pretty good. I mean, you don't see a ton of Canadian serial killers, do you?
I mean, I could kill some cereal, I'll tell you. You can do a couple boxes.
Maybe
try killing some of the goddamn knockoffs that I'm eating. It makes you not want to eat more than one goddamn bowl. Before I know you're going to transition, but before we do that, and congratulations on Urban Dictionary for crooning. I have to share this. Obviously, the first one is the male vocalist who sings popular songs with background music, a jazz or band. Then if you scroll down, it says to have a relaxed drink during a heavy drinking session. A crooner is anything less alcoholic than what you are currently drinking or you're about to drink. And then there's a crooner who is an angry old bite or shriv who shouts at people for doing nothing wrong. An old, dirty, angry man who hates his life and job and takes it out on everybody else, especially the youth. Okay? But then there's the act of crooning, which is the act of scooping fecal matter out of another person's rectum using only 2 fingers. Dude, last night I walked in on Danny and Aaron crooning. It was terrifying, yet intriguing.
You ever notice they never give like the full they don't actually put all the work is into the definition. It's never into the using it in a sentence,
Yep. Right here. The act of crooning can also be known as the act of running into Japanese George Clooney. Me and Samantha vacationed to Tokyo and spent the week crooning. So.
You get it, don't you? God damn it.
So that is Urban Dictionary. A croon is also a slang to describe the stereotype of a small, gray-haired fat man with a mustache who looks up women's skirts. Huh. Interesting.
I love
There's a
Urban
lot
Dictionary.
more. So if you guys want to check out Urban Dictionary, you ever just, it's been a long time and I don't ever want to go down there, but there was a time of my life where I was just on Urban Dictionary just trying to educate myself on some stupid stuff and just some terms to share with the boys at the bar before cell phones and, having the world in your hand, where you could go have a drink and be like, you guys ever hear of strawberry shortcakes, huh? And just some fun stuff.
Yeah, there was one that stuck from high school that was Portuguese breakfast, which don't look it up. But so now, even to this day, every time that we're talking about like getting breakfast at work, wherever, like, hey, you guys want a Portuguese breakfast? And like people who don't know, they're like, well, what's that? And we're like,
At one point, you, I think, had me put that at a T-shirt on. My mom hates my shirt or something like that, which I don't think I paid for that. I got my money's worth out of that. I think it went away, but that logo's still out there somewhere.
nasty. Brandon, what about you? Have you? What's your favorite Urban Dictionary?
Oh, favorite Urban Dictionary. Oh God. I mean, I guess
just
I
like
don't.
my kids. How can I pick one?
Well, I guess I mean, there's some wild ones out there. I never, other than the normal ones you've heard 100 times over.
Mm-hmm. I wonder,
I mean,
do they have like a top 10 list or something on Urban Dictionary?
Ooh,
Let's see here.
I'm literally going to go there and I'm going to type in a random phrase.
So obviously you go there, urbandictionary.com. You don't have to, but it just has some words. I think they're the most popular. Croquis is there with 420 likes. Then you have Heinz 57, 619 likes. Breakback, slop, all this stuff. Dolphins. Even or Brandon's got a good one.
So I just typed in strawberry Pop Tart, and never heard of this one. When you are performing coitus with a woman while she is during a special time of the month,
Mm-hmm.
and you pull out and you climax all over her red covered woman parts, resembling a frosted strawberry Pop Tart, and then somebody eats it.
Okay, somebody eats it.
That's what it says. It just says.
So I'm wondering. So one guy comes in, does the act, and then somebody else is like, "All right, you're in."
oh my
Special
god!
websites out there, I suppose.
There are some, but I love too when you're sitting there, and right now I'm on a site that doesn't have ad blockers, and on mine the main thing is get back to school with Amazon, and it's got like a notebook, some markers, and I'm like, I see what you're doing, Amazon, you sons of bitches, you're everywhere. Yeah, I don't know if you can filter them. So you can. There's a randomizer button. Apparently, you can just press random, and it just brings up a couple of different ones. But we'll have to spend some time and see if there's like a top 10 thing, or if anybody from Urban Dictionary is listening to the show, which you're probably not, but maybe you are. You should have like a greatest of all time. Just throw out there what's leading. Man, there's some. I don't want to be on here anymore.
Now, have you guys heard the trend for TikTok, like the whole very mindful, very demure, or whatever?
Mm-mm.
You haven't heard that?
No.
Brandon, you have, right? Yeah.
Very demure, very.
I haven't spent a lot of time on there. I don't know. Last night we were at an event with fireworks and stuff, and my buddy was asked by his daughter, who's friends with my daughter and stuff like that, if he would record or here record us, and they did some dance thing that apparently is a thing where it's like burr or are you cold or something, and I'm like, what the heck? And then there was like other kids and girls that were like doing the burr, I'm cold, or burr, you're cold, and I'm like, oh, apparently that's a thing. They were just recording one with a little dance move and knew the lyrics, and all the other people were like, they knew it too. I'm like, okay.
Doesn't
That's
it make
where
you
we're
feel
at
so
now.
fucking geriatric? Just whenever you just see kids like just communicate and everything, and just half the words they even say, you're like, what? So I listen to what they say and I use it against them, and then they quit using it around the house. It's an old tactic, but it's very, very proven to be effective.
It'll be uncool if you steal it from them, right?
Exactly. Especially if I use it accurately, that's when my daughter like gives me the side eye. She goes, "Stop," and I'm like, "No, not at all." But I bring up that whole demure thing just because it's crazy about the licensing and just how things work nowadays. But this influencer on TikTok had this audio trend that and just used the word demure, and now it's blown up to where like Beyonce, Kim Kardashian, all these big celebrities are using it, so everyone's going crazy. Um, but they're trying to get that trademarked or something, and kind of like the lady did that for On Fleek with the eyebrows, so she can make some money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently somebody already went and tried to patent it, or not patent it, but get the copyrights to it
Copyright
and
it.
everything. Yeah, and so it's been a big whole ordeal, but it's just crazy how fast people do that, and they just. I know you're a big fan of stealing websites, well, not stealing websites, but just seeing if websites are available and stuff like that. But
Oh, I don't steal them. I buy them legally.
see, you could have bought
I love it.
demure.com, and it would be going crazy right now.
What else is crazy? I just learned there was a person around here, and I'm sure it's been a thing for whatever, because whatever happens up here usually happens 10 to 15 years everywhere else in the world first. We're so behind, like cornhole and other games, started to get popular here recently. It's been a thing, but apparently there's a thing where you can take the signal of a key fob of a vehicle, push the signal to the vehicle, be able to get into the vehicle, start the vehicle, steal the vehicle. And I was like, huh? Well, apparently that's what they think happened. Somebody had their vehicle stolen at their place of employment. Within 20 minutes, all of a sudden the vehicle became untraceable, the GPS, everything, whether you use OnStar or whatever, or an app or whatever on these new fancy cars, just gone. And the key fob was on the person in the place of work, but apparently they have devices that you can push the signal, get it, start it later. And to me, that is wild.
Was it?
I'm assuming
Kia?
that if they're doing that, they're also have the ability to steal your credit cards and everything else from quite a while, a little bit of ways. But I'm like, holy shit! Usually people aren't smart enough to do that in these parts. So I'm assuming they're probably not from around here. Probably coming up from one of the cities or something, and being like, I'm gonna pick on these country bumpkins or whatever these city people call country folks. These hicks, these rednecks. Yeah, and I haven't heard any more how that person made out or the insurance would cover. I don't know. But I guarantee if they're smart enough to do that, that vehicle has been stripped, gone, and resold. Crazy.
Was it a Kia?
I don't know the make of to be honest with you.
Because we had a lady at work who because it's a trend it's easy to steal a Kia certain years or in models or whatever, but her vehicle got stolen at work, and it was by some homeless people, and they had like a big orgy in the back of her car.
Oh no.
And so when she retrieved it, it was awful, and she still drives it today, so she's always like, hey, I'll drive you guys here, and we're like, we're good. She's like, it's been professionally cleaned. Like, shut up. And I'm like, no, it hasn't. There's you ain't getting out what they put in this thing.
You can clean Lizzie Borden's house. She still killed her parents there. Like.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, no, we're not that bumfuck shagging wagon. We're like, no, we're good. But
Yeah, I was trying.
Go ahead.
No, I was trying to find the make of the vehicle. I can't find it, so I give up.
Kias.
I'm gonna say it was a Kia.
So I have something I wanted to share with you. Now today, of course, we're doing. Now for folks who don't know, we are recording today, but we are doing our fantasy football draft. I've got 2 of them, fantasy football drafts today. And here are some players who played during the time when we were growing up, who now have children in college football.
Ooh.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Adam Vinatieri. His son is a kicker for Louisville. Brian Urlacher's son is a safety on Notre Dame.
Oh.
You remember Mushi Muhammad for the Bears?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
His son's a wide receiver for Texas A&M. How about Willis McGahee?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
His son played as a linebacker for Nebraska, believe it or not.
Oh.
Kurt Warner had one son who was a wide receiver for Nebraska, transferred to Kansas State, but he has another son who's the quarterback at Rice.
Oh.
Chad Pennington's son is a quarterback at Marshall, just like his dad. Jason Taylor, defensive end for the Dolphins back in the day.
Yep.
His son is a tight end for LSU.
Oh.
Antonio Gates, his son, you remember him, tight end for the Chargers, wide receiver for Michigan State. Of course,
Okay.
Deion Sanders, both his sons play for him, quarterback and safety.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Driver, wide receiver for the Packers.
Yep.
His son's a wide receiver for Minnesota. Emmitt Smith's son is a running back, no surprise, for Texas A&M.
Yeah, I heard he's pretty good, right?
Yeah, from what I hear. Rodney Harrison, safety. His son is also a defensive back for Tennessee.
Oh,
Edgerrin James's son is a running back, looks like, for Buffalo,
hey,
up near
UB.
you. And Matt Hasselback's son is a quarterback for UCLA. I mean, these are some pretty big names, but also, like, they're going to pretty big colleges.
Yeah.
Josh McCown, quarterback for the Browns and several other teams. Quarterback for University of Texas, San Antonio, UTSA.
Interesting.
So anyway,
and obviously the Manning, Texas.
Yeah.
Not,
we're getting
the son of them, but
we're getting old, and it's not stopping.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
Vinatieri's jacked now. Have you seen him lately? He is fucking jacked. Let me see if I can pull up a picture real quick. I mean,
he's not getting tested every week now, so he's safe.
Exactly.
You want to feel old? Fucking hit that field goal to beat the Rams in January of 2002, I believe. So because it was the year 2001. That was 23 fucking years ago, man. Holy shit.
Let me show you this picture. He is jacked. Like to the point where he could have played a lineman probably in the 90s. He is jacked.
That is insane.
Isn't that wild? Look at these young bucks.
Is he on TB12?
He's on. I mean, look at that. Goddamn. Probably can kick a ball 80 yards now.
Probably. Put him in. Put me in, coach. It's ready to play. Like I said, he can't get tested, though, for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. That doesn't appear natural, but also I'm not a big guy in working out, so. Hearing a lot of celebrities and stuff that are starting to get into the testosterone and stuff, or all the steroids and this and that, and like even Steve-O from Jackass was saying he's meeting with a guy and he's going to start getting on it with, But did you guys hear that he is not getting the boob job now? Did you guys know Steve-O from Jackass was going to get a boob job? He was going to get D's or double D's. He was going to get big, fake boobs. And it was this thing. He did this advertisement. As soon as he got them, he was going to be a guest on a couple of podcasts. Somebody heard about it. I think another podcaster, YouTuber, radio host, somebody with some money said, you know what? I'm going to buy them for you. Which advertisement, this and stuff for him. Apparently it was all paid, down payment. And then all of a sudden, right before the surgery, night before, a couple of days before, something like that, the anesthesiologist was like, nope, I want nothing to do with this. And then all of a sudden, I guess the doctor was like, no, I don't want the backlash either. And kind of while this was going on, Steve-O had a random conversation at like a grocery store or something like that with somebody that I think was transitioning or in one of the different communities or something. And like, I guess they had this conversation, like he was talking about it. They had this brief conversation. Then he just kind of left and he was kind of like, went back, had a more in-depth conversation with this person. And then he kind of realized like maybe it's very inappropriate with some communities and this and that. And there was all these red flags with the backlash. He was going to do it. He paid not only for the surgery, he bought this device to speed up recovery. He was going to go on tour with them. And then when it was all said and done, he was going to have them removed. And he already paid for the surgery to fix the stuff. And yeah, it was this whole thing. And I guess he kind of came to these not senses, but he came to the realization that this probably isn't a good idea. Which I think we all thought.
When did this start? I heard nothing about this at all.
He's been saying this for a while. Yeah, he was. He's been. I want to say a year or two.
Damn.
But yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I don't. I guess I don't follow Steve-O as well. I know I keep seeing updates on Bam Margera, but that's the only thing that I usually see.
2 years ago, there's something on YouTube that says Steve-O's insane boob job stunt. Steve-O's getting breast implants. 2022, Steve-O wants to end career with fake breasts. He has been hinting around it for a while. And for whatever reason, it just, like, he even had Bert Kreischer, I think, that was going to be the first interview after him. And Bert was like, I wanted to be the first person to touch your tits. But he explained it all, this and that. But yeah, interesting. I think we all were on the same page about him not getting them was a good idea, but he didn't get them, and hopefully for the best. But I don't know, looking at the clock, that was a quick little bit. Why don't we, at the time of the recording, it's holiday weekend. Let's enjoy it. Hopefully, you guys, whether you see some parades, some fireworks, or just some good food and family time, we all deserve it. We all work pretty hard. So let's go eat 20-pound burritos, take big dumps, and have ourselves a safe and awesome holiday. The time you're seeing this is Thursday. You're going, what the hell? But hey, be thankful because you had a short work week. And if you're listening to this, tomorrow's Friday. We're almost there. But Brandon, Yuban, hopefully you guys have a good rest of your week, days. Everybody listening, for whatever reason, we appreciate it. It's been a weird episode. You're welcome for the free laughs. That's all I got. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.
Hairy nipples.
Left that in. It says it's still